Thank you.
And then you just choose, you can choose to record the cloud, and that way it'll be easier for you to download and send it out to users
Okay.
following.
Vivian had already started recording when we were having issues, and she stopped while she
Oh,
stopped and passed it to me. So I'll just begin again from there. Thank you so much for telling me I had to stop share for a moment.
you're welcome.
Now we will go back. Monica is an IT friend. Always good to have the whole complement of our team along with us, right? All right, back to I'll bet I'm up in window. Nope. Oh, I'm in Zoom. Okay. Back to Google. Nope, I don't want to end the meeting. Nothing like learning to fly.
Technology can be our best friend and sometimes our worst enemy at the wrong time.
Exactly. Oh, here we go. We're back in business. All right. So the amount of effort it takes to keep the lid on negative emotions, keep them out of sight, totally saps our creative energy. All right. So how can we shift out of negative emotional energy? Now this is the emotion code chart. I told you there were 60 emotions. So 2 columns, 6 rows. And these are the ones that Dr. Brad has found, the man who wrote it, encompass everything that he's found. They can be summed up in these things. So it's emotion code. It's an energy healing technique designed to help you identify and literally release trapped emotions, which we believe are harmful emotion energies from negative past events. It was discovered 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, by Dr. Bradley Nelson, a chiropractor, through his deep desire to help his clients who dealt with chronic pain and dysfunction, whether physical or emotional. So I put that all up for you in case you want to do a screenshot, because that definition can be helpful. I'll leave it up for another minute in case that is useful. All right. And another way that we can shift is what Shifra spoke about out of that negative emotional energy is by clearing the heart wall. So we could ask ourselves questions like, am I aware of having been injured emotionally anytime in my life? And have I ever felt an emotional heaviness in my chest, like my heart was breaking? So at that time, even if we're very young, like pre-verbal even, we can go feel that, whatever it is, abandonment. And it just is so scary that our subconscious mind, our fight or flight zone goes, ooh, we're going to build a wall. So it starts grabbing for everything it can get. Balls of negative emotional energy. They're somewhere between an orange and a cantaloupe in size. And so just start, think snow fort or igloo, I'm going to hide, I'm going to keep you safe. And that if someone's verbal, it can be, you will never hurt me like that again, or I will never let myself be hurt like that again. And it's like, sure enough. And the only way to be that kind of safe is to never let love in again, right? So it's a hard wall, it's keeps us safe, too safe, right?
Hey,
So,
Vienna.
yes, Rosemary.
Vivian just called me and she wanted me to let everybody know that she's not able to get in at all, that she's been trying. And then she just wanted me to remind you to record if you're able to.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate that message. All right.
So Vivian, if she's trying to get in, she might be in the waiting room, waiting for you to admit her.
Actually, Monica, her modem is down, so it's it's a deeper problem. She was on with me earlier, and it was like, so we're like, yeah, that's not going to be helpful. So thank you so much for that. You're absolutely right. All right. And does it seem sometimes like communication is harder than you'd expect? So those are just a very few things that would say maybe I have a heart wall. Dr. Nelson says that 93% of people that he has found in his practice with thousands of people have a heart wall. So someone who didn't would be the very small minority. So those of us who are alive and breathing and ever had something traumatic happen. And I will say, it's like, is this a design flaw? People might ask. Not really. We were designed to be able to process emotions. They come, we feel them, maybe we're sad for a bit. Some child took our toy in the sandbox, we're sad for a little bit, and it goes on through, doesn't affect us. But in the presence of adrenaline and cortisol, it's like everything seems bigger, right? Everything's fight or flight. Sounds are louder. I remember smells and tastes from something traumatic in childhood, right? So when we get that scenario going on, that's when we can get things trapped. So we're designed for it to flow through and be processed. When we can't process our fight or flight, our amygdala is going to help us stay alive and going to protect us. So that's how we start getting trapped, and that's how the heart wall gets built. And then we just add layers, add layers, add layers. It gets miles and miles and miles. In fact, just even a single trapped emotion in terms of its impact, so it doesn't get bigger than this in our body, but in terms of our perception of it or the impact on us, one of the questions we ask in a session is, are we going to measure this in inches or feet or miles or light years? So, whew, it can be a significant measuring stick that we have to use. All right. Looks like I got double duty on that one. All right. So now, could it help me in the middle of a crisis on Monday morning? Let's go back to the example of the call from the accountant. With the emotional release and practice that's included in the heart wall release experience class, we're going to give the tool of emotion code so that you'd have a tool in your hands that could be applied in 1 to 3 minutes to drain the negative emotional energy out of a situation and remove the trigger that originally caused that to flag. So that's one form of a power tool that doesn't just calm me in the moment and pull me from fight or flight back to being able to use my out of survival instinct back into the focus and flow of the front brain to be able to thrive in the sales meeting. But it also will take it so that that particular trapped emotion won't be back. So I compare it to when a trapped emotion is released, it would be like if I threw a water balloon and then decided, oh wait, I changed my mind. And I was gonna take another balloon and go pick up all the water droplets and stick them back in. Well, that's not happening. Hot summer day, it's already half evaporated, right? Same with emotional energy. When it's released, it diffuses out into the universe. Those kind of things have ripples and they just keep going. So that one never comes back. I haven't yet gotten to the bottom of my pool, but nearly every day, I find things and I'm getting more attentive. I love that. I used to be so shut down, glazed over, that I wasn't even going to acknowledge that I had trapped emotions, that I even felt many emotions. And then as it began to come off and I could stand a little taller and my eyes are a little brighter, then it's like, okay, this is safe. I can handle this. And now I'm noticing pretty much within seconds of a trigger happening, I'm going, oh, I think there might be something behind that, and I can release it and move forward in a better place. So what if that triggered negative emotional affecting our business could be shifted in a matter of weeks? Well, that's what we've put together is the heart wall release experience, and we'll be teaching how to release these negative emotions and be free to love yourself all over again, and free to not just survive in business, but thrive, to be really connected with your client when you're with them without looking through some kind of a wall trying to see what's going on in their lives and hearts. So it's going to be Tuesdays starting February 16th, 5 to 6:30 Pacific time, 4 weeks in March, 2 weeks in April. And the package is the 8 group sessions and 3 individual sessions so that we can make sure that you're completely fluent in using the tool for yourself. And that is the link. And then we'll be sending all the details and everything else when we send out what we have of this recording. And I may just record the whole thing over again so that you can have an actual, all the things in one place that you can watch again.
Vienna, how much is the course?
The 8 weeks, 8-hour-and-a-half sessions and 3 individual sessions is $1,500. And then that gives you the tools for ongoing so that you don't have to continue. You know, there's always, I still call a friend when I get into a kind of a deep place with mine, but I can basically handle all of my own. So that's our goal, is to make you independent in that. And if someone doesn't want the individual sessions, we have the option of just doing the 8 group sessions, and that is $997.
How much is that again? How much is the last one?
That one is $997 for just the 8 group sessions, hour-and-a-half group sessions.
Okay.
And what we find is so cool is in a group session, basically all of us have all of the emotions trapped. So I've done this multiple times in small groups, and from what the feedback I'm getting is that whoever's the one that we're working with one-on-one in that moment and getting the exact details of theirs, then the other people in the Zoom room also experience this, oh my gosh, I had abandonment. I'm picturing a time when I felt abandoned, and then they can clear it. So let me just show you. Clearing is super simple. What we're doing is we're bringing the trapped emotion up from subconscious, and your body and your other than conscious mind totally knows the score. It's not confused about anything that's ever happened in your life. The conscious mind, not so much, but that's not who we're consulting, you know? So you're working with your other than conscious mind and bringing it up to conscious level, like, oh, okay, when I was 8, I felt abandoned. I think I know what that was. And we can even check and see, is it what she's thinking about? Yeah, very good. And like Schiffer said, sure enough, something rises up, and or not every single time, but very often. And then you clear it by sweeping the governing meridian. It goes from the upper lip to the tailbone, and we only have to sweep a little part of it. Our fingertips are magnetic, and that's how it pulls, you know, is released, is going over the governing meridian. And if it's not inherited, we do 3 sweeps. If it's inherited, then we do 10 sweeps over that governing meridian. And then we double check, has that been released? So it's a very thorough process. And generally, I'd say at least 70% of the time, people feel something. And it doesn't matter, even if you don't, we muscle test at the end and find out, yep, it's clear. So
it's really interesting, Vienna, how you really learn if it's from your mother or your father's side. That's really interesting when you learn that you've inherited it.
And how many generations, right?
And how many generations. Yeah, that's really kind of fun.
I think one of the most, thank you for bringing that up. One of the most fascinating things to me is in the training, Dr. Brad brought up, someone came with an emotion of something strong, like abandonment, you know? And he said, well, let's just see if this was inherited. And inherited emotions get passed at conception. So presumably most parents have some trapped emotions, right? And that's the moment, like, it's kind of like along with the DNA, so to speak. I'm not saying it's in the DNA, but in that moment, those can be passed. And he said usually just average, strong, trapped emotions that are going to be passed would peter out in 3 or 4 generations. He had a lady on the phone one time, and hers was, I don't know, 12, 15 generations, maybe it was even more than that. And he took that number times 22.5, which is what he's calling kind of an average generation, and took his calculator and divided, it was 2020 that I saw the class, subtracted that number of years, that many generations, and said, oh, okay, this was about 1650, and here's what was going on in Ireland at that time. She was Irish. And I said, yeah, they were having a terrible, awful famine, and don't quote me historically on that time frame. History is not my major. But she was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. So something that traumatic that affected a whole culture can be passed and passed and passed and passed and passed. So it's a big deal if it gets that many generations back. And what, my other favorite thing about it is that we can also ask, did I pass this to any of my children? And I would say 30, 40, 50% of the time I have. And so sorry, younger son, he's the one that ends up inheriting it most of the time. Maybe I had less filtering by the time it came to him, but he got the brunt of it. But what's lovely is then for inherited, we do 10 sweeps, and it clears. It's one bundle of energy. It's not energy for all those generations. It's just one long thread, is too small of a word, but one long piece. And so when we clear it from ourselves, the whole line dissipates. So even our children. So if our children are adults, they have to give their permission for us to do this for them. If they're young, we can do it on their behalf as parents. But the amazing thing is then that's one way we can clear and help our children from things that we pass to them. We can also clear from them. So thank you for adding that bit. That's so very powerful. So it's question and answer time. What can I answer for you?
Hi, Vienna. It's Rosemary.
Hi.
So you mentioned that we'll be like proficient in doing this for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something also that we can use with our clients, or is that a different certification?
It's a different certification. And I used it after I took the class. I started using it with friends and family. They encourage that. And then if you want to use it with clients and charge for it, Dr. Nelson provides a certification program. So just seeing him teach the material is a one-day class that you can look at on his website, which is discoverhealing.com. And then his certification program for emotion code is maybe $900, something like that. And then it's a process of videos, some written material, and 30 sessions of experience, 26 of which is on humans, 4 of which is on animals. So this also works for animals, and that has been a fascinating journey to see. I've seen some great transformations in cats and dogs, and I'll know in the spring whether the work I did on a horse that was bucking people off last summer worked, but nobody's gotten on it since then. So
That's cool.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can anybody think of a business related situation that you're wondering if maybe there's some negative emotion driving it?
I have one, procrastination.
That is a very, very good one. Definitely instances that I've seen in procrastination, even for myself, are that it's part of that fight or flight keep me safe, staying alive, back brain, the amygdala, that is like, yeah, well, that doesn't really sound safe. We've never done it that way before. And so it's like, okay, thanks. I'll hold off a little bit till it looks safer, you know. And our conscious mind knows good and well we can do that. We've done it 40 times before, but this may be a little nuanced different, and it may seem a little scary. So if we get stuck back there, if we get triggered and get back into that back brain, we're going to procrastinate. So that's one cause that I've seen. And then when we remove the negative emotion and the trigger, then we can move forward boldly, because it doesn't keep throwing us back into that scary place. Does that make sense?
Yes, very.
Are there some other questions? We have 15 minutes left. Would someone like to experience any trapped emotion release? I'm thinking Catherine might have had something that motivated you to say procrastination. Shall we see if there's something hiding in the background for you?
Sure.
All right. So Catherine, do I have your permission to check if there's a trapped emotion?
Yes.
All right. And is there a negative trapped emotion for Catherine that's behind that procrastination? Well, yes, there is. And I'm using muscle testing. And so let me just explain a little bit about that, because that's what makes this work. So when something is true and it's a yes for us, it's a positive. We're strong to it. Our muscles are locked, like yes. And when something is false, negative, not true, the body's just like, nope, not happening. That's not true. So one of the ways that we can check that, Dr. Brad uses this one. It's called a ring and ring method. And so when we muscle test, that it's called kinesiology, and there's oodles of science about kinesiology. And probably one that more people have seen but it's hard to do. I can't reach through the camera to get to you for this, so it won't work here. So it's an in-person, is just, my name is Vienna. You'll just have to trust me. I'm pushing 2 pounds with 2 fingers here. My name is Vienna. Oh, that muscle's locked. My name is George. My body's going, liar, liar, pants on fire. You're no George. So there's so many ways to muscle test, but a lot of people like this one, ring and ring. So my name is Vienna, and it's tight. So anybody that wants to, just go ahead and try that. My name is, say your name, and then just check. And you're not like pinching so hard that you're white finger knuckling it, but just, yeah, okay. Light pressure. And then my name is a name that's not your name and not a family member's name. So I'll say my name is George. It's like, it just won't hold. It's like, nope, nope, nope. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't like 2 break points, because that feels like one too many. So I just use my thumb in my fingers. So my name is Vienna, my name is George. And it just like, nope, nope. So that's how I'm testing. And you can look up about muscle testing too. It's everywhere that fine energy techniques are talked about. So is the one for Catherine about procrastination, is that in column A? Yes. Is it an odd row? Nope. Nope. Is it an even row? Yep. So is it A2? Yes. And once you find the positive, you don't have to go any further. A2, A4, yep, there's A2. First word. That word is anxiety, Catherine. I'll read a definition. So there is a free app. Well, now we're in the definition, but the app that was on the side of the page is free in the App Store. So the definition of anxiety is a generalized feeling of uneasiness and foreboding, a fear of the unknown, fear without a subject. An example would be, she feels anxious and fearful all the time for no apparent reason. So now let's see, do we need more information about that? Yes. And do we need to know first occurrence? Yes. So was that before age 20? Yes. Before 10? Yes. Before 5? Yes. Before 3? Yes. Before 2? No. So it's at age 2, Catherine, that this flavor of anxiety, not that there wouldn't be some others from other times in life, but this particular flavor of anxiety was trapped at age 2. And do we need, is it Catherine's alone? Yes. Not inherited. Do we need to know where it's trapped in the body? Yes. Subconscious mind says that'd be helpful. I want you to know that before it gets released. So would this be in Catherine's heart? Yeah, that's a pretty common spot for things to get tucked. Do we need to know size? Yes. Will we measure in inches, feet, or miles? It's miles. Is this going to be more than 10 miles? Yeah. More than 100? Yes. More than 500? Yeah. More than 1,000? Yep. More than 10,000? More than 50,000? More than 100,000? It's not more than 100,000. More than 60,000? No. More than 55,000? Yeah. Do we need any greater detail? Yes. More than 55,500? Yeah. Do we need more detail? No. So greater than 55,500 miles, that's sizable, right? And is there anything else we need to know? Nope. And because it's not inherited, Catherine, you can go ahead and clear that with 3 sweeps over that governing meridian. With the intention to release that trapped emotion of anxiety. And let me know when you're done.
Yeah, I feel lighter. I'm so surprised how big it is, and I know how big my anxiety is. That's why I'm procrastinating. And for me to have developed it up to, it's kind of amazing.
Right?
And over 555,000.
Let's see. Yep. 500. I think that's what it was. I typically
Wow.
write it down, but yeah, it was over 500,000, way up there. And so now we double check, is that gone? Yes. Good, solid, yes. That's
Yay.
made it out. So you'll have to let me know if procrastination is less of an obstacle these next couple.
Yes. I will let you know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for hopping on the hot seat there. Would someone else like to find out if you have a trapped emotion that impacts you in business?
Vienna, it's Rosemary. I have my mom here. Can she try it? She hasn't tried it before.
Of course she can. Welcome, Rosemary's mom. Do you have a name?
Lillian Arboleda.
Hi, Lillian. We're so glad you could join us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Happy to be here and good to participate.
Yes. So do you want to give any little scenarios, something that's been kind of just in your face lately, triggering you about something, or even a physical pain?
Well, actually, my problem is physical, and it's a weakness at the body that it just, crippled me about a year ago, and it's getting worse and worse. So that is a big concern.
Yes. And say again what the issue is, please.
That her body is getting weak. So her legs are weakening and her muscles are weakening.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lillian, for sharing that. All right. So now I disconnect from Catherine and Lillian, do I have permission to check for you if you have a trapped emotion?
Yes, will you please check
Yes.
for me? Thank you.
Gladly. All right. Is there a trapped emotion for Lillian that is influencing this body weakness that she's experiencing? Yes, there is. Is it in column A? Yes. Is it an odd row? Yes, it is. Is it A1, A3? It's A5. So there are 5 words there. I'm going to go back to the screen that has the chart on it so you can see that. You can see what I'm looking at. There we go.
Yeah.
So A5, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So this is an interesting word to me. It's not one that I used as a kid. The word is peeved, very much an English word, right? And the definition: irritated, annoyed, exasperated, irked, aggravated, ticked off. So that is the word of the that's involved, one of the trapped emotions involved with the muscle weakness. Your other than conscious mind and body are telling us. Do we need to know more? Yes. Do we need to know first occurrence? Yes. Would it be before age 30? Yes. Before 15? No. Before 20? Yes. 15, 16, 17, 18. So Lillian, at age 18, there was some kind of experience that of peeved, irked, irritated. And it's not that your muscles got weak then, but it's been building, 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 building. And now something set it off, a little ticking time bomb. And now it's just like, can't handle it anymore. So it's manifested in this stronger way with the weakness. And there may be other trapped emotions as well, but we've found one, the first one that your body told us it wanted to release. So now, is it yours alone? Yes. So this is not inherited from your parents. Do we need to know where it's trapped in the body? Yes. Is it in the heart? Yes. And do we need to know size? Yes. So are we going to measure in inches? Nope. Feet? Yes. We measure in feet. Is it more than 10 feet? Yeah. More than 20? Yes. More than 50? No. More than 30? Yeah. More than 40? No. 31, 32, 33, 34. So it's 35 feet of this exasperated, irked, peeved emotion. And do we need to know anything else? No. So it's not inherited. So Lillian, you can release this with 3 sweeps over the governing meridian. And your intention is to clear this trapped emotion of peeved. So just from your forehead down your neck. I'm releasing this trapped emotion of peeved. Big breath. Moving around a little. Beautiful. All right. And is that trapped emotion released? Yes, it is. I want you to see that. Solid as a rock. It's gone. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. And I saw you moving around a little. Do you feel a little looser in your body?
I think so.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you for letting us experience life with you there.
Thank you so very much to you.
You're welcome. All right. Disconnect from Lillian. Is there anyone else that would like? We've got 5 more minutes.
Yes. Can I go?
Of course, Christine. So tell us what's coming to your mind, something that you'd like to see if there's an emotion behind.
Yes. So I have always this emotion of being rejected or abandoned.
Mm-hmm. Can you think of a time recently, like just describe a bit of a situation?
Anytime I know that people are gathering and I'm not invited,
Yes.
for instance.
Yep, that is very well said. Totally a clear picture. All right. So I have your permission to do this?
Yes.
All right. So is there a trapped emotion for Christine that's behind this feeling when she hears there's a gathering and she hasn't been invited? Yes, there is. All right. Is it in column A? Yes. Is it an odd row? It is. Is it A1? Yep. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So as you can see let me point to it with my little pointer. A1 is our square and it's the 5th one, love unreceived. So I'm going to read that definition for you. A feeling that love expressed is or has been rejected. Feeling unwanted, not cared for, not accepted. A lack of love where it is desired. Does that sound about right? All right, so now let's see, do we need to know more to be able to release this? Yes, your subconscious mind wants us to know more. Do we need to know first occurrence? Yes. Is it before age 30? Yes. Before 15? Yes. Before 7? Yep. Before 3? No. 3, 4, 5. So this was age 5 that this got trapped. And I'm going to make a note. And then, is it Christine's alone? It is not inherited. Do we need to know where it is in the body? Yes. Is this one in the heart? No. Is it in the liver? Yes. So those are like two of the most common ones. I check them first before I have to break out a chart and go through it mathematically, or process of elimination. So it's trapped in the liver. And do we need to know how big it is? Yes, we do. Do we need to, are we going to measure in inches? Yeah, we're measuring in inches. And is it more than 5 inches? Yeah. More than 10? No. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7 inches. Do we need to know more about it? Yes, we do. All right. Do we need to know a person that it's related to? Yeah. Is it a male or a female? It's a female. Is it a family member? Yes. Do you want me to just run through the classic family members, or does somebody come to mind?
Oh, family members.
Okay. So would this be mom? Yeah. So this is something related to mom. And, you know, not to implicate or not implicate anybody, when we're 5, if I can remember, like I said, I'm gonna surprise mom, maybe it was 6 or 7, but and clean the bathroom. And I cleaned it, or no, I think I hadn't gotten to it yet. I was on my way to do it. And she says, oh, hey, by the way, would you clean the bathroom? And I was like, oh, I was going to surprise her. And now it's not a surprise. Was that mom's fault? Not so much. So we won't even need to ask what your relationship with your mom was, but it doesn't have to make sense, the size of it, with regard to the actual people involved or the instance. It matters how we perceive it and tuck it away, right? So that love unreceived. Is there anything else we need to know? Nope. So we've got all we need to know to release it now. And can we release with 3 sweeps? Yep. So now, Christine, up and over your head, and your intention is to release that trapped emotion of love unreceived. Big deep breath. Whew. All right. And is that completely clear? Yes.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Anything that you sensed or want to report from that?
Yeah, something in the heart.
So beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank you so much for letting us.
I also want to add something.
Yes.
When she said mother, I felt this piercing sensation in my left stomach. And I resonated with the love unreceived from my mother, because my mother left when I was 3. And I felt that piercing sensation, and I was kind of felt that hurt. Thank you. I think you released it also
Yeah,
for me.
exactly. And I often remember to say, everybody in the group, if anything comes to your mind, or even if not, just go ahead. So everybody just release for all the things we've released today. We all just get to be freer and freer. That is beautiful. So Christine, I disconnect from you now, give you back to you.
Thank you.
And we started a few minutes late. So if somebody else had a desire to see if they have a negative trapped emotion that we can clear, feel free to step up.
If no one would volunteer, I would like to go again. If no one,
Beautiful. Is there anybody else? All right, let's do one more for Catherine. Is there and do you want to go with procrastination again, or you have another idea?
Fear of being seen.
Beautiful. All right. So is there a trapped, do I have your permission?
Yes.
Connect in again. All right. Is there a trapped emotion for Catherine about this fear of being seen? Yes, indeed. All right. Is it in column A? Yes. It's an odd row. Yep. A1, A3, A5, first, second, third. So A5-3 is fear. Definition, a strongly distressing emotion aroused by impending danger, evil, or pain. The threat may be real or imagined. So that's making sense, right? If I pop up and be seen, think of whack-a-mole, somebody might come along and go, you don't need to be up. But I know, Catherine, that you have a light to shine, and it's going to be important for you to be able to be free to be seen. So let's
Thank you.
clear that. Yes. So is there, do we need to know more? Yes. Do we need first occurrence? Yes. Before age 20? Yeah. Before 10, before 5, no, 5, 6, 7. So age 7. And is it inherited? This one is inherited from mom. Nope, from dad. More than one generation. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations. Was it dad's mom? Yeah. And her mom? Yeah, so dad, mom, mom, and 5 generations. And has it been passed to any children? Yeah. How many children do you have, Catherine?
3.
Okay. To the firstborn, yes. Secondborn, no. Thirdborn, yes. So we'll clear from all of them too. And do we need to know where it is in the body? Yes. Is it heart? Yes. Do we need to know size? Yep. We measure in inches, feet, it's miles. Is it more than 100 miles? More than 1,000? Nope. More than 500? Yeah. More than 600? No. More than 550? Yeah. More than 560? No. 551, 2, 3, 4, 5. 555 miles of fear. And do we need anything else? Nope. So it's inherited, so you'll need to do 10 sweeps to clear from the 5 generations and from 2 of your 3 children.
15?
10 sweeps.
Okay.
And your intention is to clear this trapped emotion of fear. And let's all do that. Anybody that thinks you might have some fear somewhere from before you were born till now. Whew. And you can't do too many sweeps. This is not a quiz to see if you can count to 10 without going over. Sometimes I just it feels good to stop. Figure myself.
Wow, that's amazing.
How do you feel?
I just feel great that I cleared my family.
Yeah,
You know?
isn't that just so beautiful? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Wow.
All right. And is that all clear? Yes, indeed. Solid yes. So thank you again for jumping in there. And so thank you all for coming today. It's been a lovely time spending time with you. And we will keep an eye out. There'll be, Vivian has other courses coming up. So if you got this through an email from her, keep your eyes on that. And if you're interested in learning to use this tool for yourself, that's going to be our goal, to clear the heart wall and learn to use it for yourself in the 8-week class. So you'd be so welcome to come along for the ride, and we'd have more of this kind of fun and get more of this kind of freedom and fly together. So thank you all again. And I'll stop screen sharing now. And if anybody wants to unmute and say goodbye to each other, you're welcome to do that.
Thank you so much.
My
I'm so grateful.
Absolutely. All right. Take care, everyone. And I'll stop the recording.